Senior Counsel with First Liberty Institute, making sure your religious freedoms are not trampled on. Cliff Martin is going to join us about something going on in Utah, of all places. Hi, Cliff.
Hello, how are you doing, Fawn?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very, very good. Thank you.
Good, good, good. All right, so what's going on in Utah?
We represent Jocelyn Bowden. She's a longtime member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and she was the manager at Bath and Body Works and was essentially terminated for not following the pronoun policy. She has a sincere religious conviction that gender ideology is wrong, and she worked with a transgender employee who she hired for one day, and someone made a complaint about pronouns, and she was all hauled in by Bath and Body Works to talk with HR, and when it became clear that she could not in good conscience follow their pronoun policy, she was promptly terminated. Bath and Body Works made no attempt to accommodate her religious convictions, and that is why we're asking the Trump administration to intervene.
In Utah. I mean,
Utah.
everybody is Mormon or Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I mean, find a Catholic in Utah. It's like hitting gold. I'm just saying, it's what Utah is known for, the religious convictions of people. When I think of a religious state, I think of Utah.
Yes, that's exactly right. It is very common. In fact, there were multiple employees at that particular Bath and Body Works that were the same religion.
So they pick this person who's worked there for one day over the manager of the store.
Right, and the issue really is that Bath and Body Works applied its pronoun policy without any consideration for accommodating Jocelyn's beliefs. And so the real legal problem with that is that Title VII protects all Americans, and no American should be forced to choose between their faith and their job.
You know how confused I am about the pronoun thing? Because I can't guess what pronoun you want to be used. You know what I mean? I hate it when it's in an email, she, her, hers, or whatever. It's like, I don't care. You know what? Why does this have to be such a public thing? You know, I just don't get it. And when religion comes into play, they think that their dysphoria is more important than our salvation. I don't get it.
Right. And to be clear, Jocelyn was the inclusive one here. She was willing to use anyone's first name or, chosen name. She was perfectly willing to work with anyone. And, she had the inclusive attitude. It was Bath and Body Works that claims to be an inclusive workplace that explicitly excluded her and terminated her simply because she did not want to follow the pronoun policy due to her conscience.
Well, in regular speech, words just kind of fly. You know what? And if Joe wants to be Joe with an E instead of with just a J-O, you can still call him Joe, but a her or a him might slip out and you don't even, it could happen, even if there wasn't a religious exception. So the fact that we are expected to be able to keep up with this crap has gotten way out of hand, even beyond the religious aspect of this. But as religious as Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are, and even as inclusive as Jocelyn was to even hire this person, she clearly had no problem with the person living their life however they wanted to live it. But that person clearly had a problem with Jocelyn not playing the game.
We're honestly not even so sure that other employee is the one that made a complaint. It may have been a third employee that heard Jocelyn use what she perceived to be an incorrect pronoun and complained as well. So, the real issue is Bath and Body Works and their unwillingness to accommodate Jocelyn Bowden.
So what are we doing about this? Because can we all just admit this is getting stupid?
We definitely think that gender ideology has, advanced to an extreme place when a corporation is not willing to accommodate a religious employee as the law requires.
And it shouldn't even have to be religion. Some people just refuse to play Fantasyland. You know what I mean? We refuse to do it. You can live your life however you want. You can pick your pronoun. You can do whatever you want. But when I was in biology class, I learned what the actual scientific definition of male and female were. And don't mess with the science. Don't mess with religion. Stop confusing our children. Stop stepping on people's toes when it comes to their religion. Why can't we just get back to basics here and stop playing this stupid game? I'm so over it. I'm done with it. I don't care how people live their life. If they're a good person, I'm going to be good to them. But the fact that she lost her job over this should go to court. So I'm glad First Liberty exists.
Well, we're privileged to represent her. We believe that, requiring employees to change the meaning of pronouns based on gender ideology is an attempt to force the acceptance of a viewpoint that runs counter to many people's religious beliefs, and the law protects those beliefs.
Yeah, well, I'm just confused as to who's what anymore, and I can't keep the pronouns straight. So I should sue for mental confusion, trying to keep up with everybody's mental confusion. It's gotten out of hand. And so the Federal Civil Rights Act comes into play here, where your religious views are yours and you're allowed to have them. And it's pretty much that simple.
That's right. Employers are required to accommodate religious beliefs and the practice of those religious beliefs unless it creates a substantial burden on the employer. And here, there was an easy out for Bath and Body Works. They could have allowed Jocelyn to just use first names, and she specifically told them, I'm perfectly willing to call anyone by the name that they prefer.
Right.
I'm just not going to use pronouns that are inconsistent with my faith. And Bath and Body Works immediately terminated her. They did not even consider this obvious accommodation that would have cost them nothing.
So what are we hoping to gain here? Does she want her job back? Is she just, is there a monetary conclusion to that? What are we doing?
Well, we do believe that Bath and Body Works should make Jocelyn whole, for sure, but they also need to take into account that their policy of terminating employees immediately for running afoul of their gender ideology views is not compatible with the law. If they have religious employees, they need to be accommodating them, and that's why we've asked the EEOC to investigate, because we think Bath and Body Works needs to change its ways and actually come through on the inclusive attitude it says it wants to have.
Yeah, especially when somebody's willing to meet you halfway.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we at with this? Have they answered? Has anything moved forward?
We have not received an answer yet. The EEOC is currently investigating, and so we're cooperating with the EEOC as they take steps to decide how they're going to handle this.
Okay, and so it's in limbo basically right now until somebody does something, but the case has been put forth.
Yes, there has been a charge filed with the EEOC.
Good. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, First Liberty fights for the religious freedoms and beliefs of people all over the nation who just in the last decade, it seems, have been thrown to the wayside in this warp speed mentality of, I don't even know all the terms, to be honest with you, Cliff. I've lost track of all the terms, the non-binary, the cisgender, the that, the this. It's him, her, he, she. It's a pronoun that I can't keep up with it. I don't know the plurality of a they, them. I don't get it. I don't understand any of it, and I shouldn't have to because I'm Catholic and it's not part of what we believe. So good people should be treated well, no matter what la-la land they live in. I believe everyone should be accepted for who or whatever they think they are, but you can't force other people to play the game. You just can't, and especially if it's against your religious beliefs. I just can't do it. And if I worked somewhere where this was a rule, I'd have to leave on my own. I would just go.
Right. And you're right. First Liberty Institute exists to protect every religious employee in America. The law protects them, and we're privileged to get to engage in these battles. And we want to make it clear to Bath and Body Works that the law protects all Americans, regardless of their religion, from this oppressive gender ideology to the extent that it requires an employee to violate their conscience.
Yeah. End period. Hard stop. How do people donate to you if they want to help fight this fight?
Mm-hmm. They can go to firstliberty.org and read all about Jocelyn's case and all the other litigation that we've got going.
Can you imagine if we brought back people from the 1920s and hit them with this, how confused they'd be? They wouldn't know what the heck we're talking about. That's kind of how I feel. And I'm glad y'all exist because I might need you one day. Just saying. All right.
We would love to help you.
All right. Cliff Martin is a senior counsel with First Liberty Institute. Pronoun policy in a Utah store. Bath and Body Works is candor because she wouldn't use the pronouns that went against her faith that she very strongly held. And it doesn't really matter how you feel about something if that's the store policy. They need to answer for that. And I hope this one comes out in the right direction for Jocelyn. Cliff, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Fawn.
Bye-bye.